Well, back in December, I shared with you all my winter project list, and the intent was that I would get through those projects by the end of January. Well, the end of January has come and gone. That deadline was set so that I would be able to focus right now on seed starting now that it's February. And it's the beginning of February, and I am indeed focused on starting seeds. But you probably won't be surprised to hear that I didn't get all those winter projects, those infrastructure projects as I call them, finished. And so we still have a little bit to go. So I thought I would share with you all where we're at, my progress on the list. Projects that actually did get done, well, I did get the basement nursery set up. That did require that I get a few more lights, and it did require that I do some kind of guessing around to make sure I didn't overload any particular outlet with too many lights. But it's there. I've got seeds started and they're looking happy. Putting compost on these garden beds, I mostly got that done. I'm gonna call it done. I could probably still do a little more in some of the beds, and so I may do a little more compost spreading before spring, but I'm gonna check that off the list. Creating new garden beds around the existing fruit tree corridor. This was finished and no caveats to that. Trimming the hedges and bushes. Well, I have to admit that I've got helpers helping me with this. It's still in process, so it's not all done, but I'm feeling pretty good that we'll get it done in the next few weeks. Cleaning out and refreshing, or cleaning up and refreshing, I should say, these cedar chip paths. If you followed my previous videos, you know that I did half of this project. Well, I would say we did about 60% of this project back at the beginning of fall. That was because of the rainy season coming on. I wanted to avoid kind of sloshing through the mud all winter. So that worked out nicely, but we still got 40% of the paths to go ahead and refresh. So what else is left to do? Well, I'm hopeful we'll get done with all the trimming of the bushes and the hedges around here this month, but that is still in process. With all the tree and bush and hedge trimming, we have a lot of branches and brush to process. Ideally, we would strip the long straight branches, and they can be used for stakes and maybe some peepholes, stakes for beans and stuff like that. The rest of that will be put through the chipper so that we can more easily compost it. I was hoping to have some time, some extra time that is, to install rain gutters on the pergola that I built last year and connect them to the potting shed to redo those rain gutters. But I'm not sure that's going to be practical right now. And finally, the rabbit fence. That's something I'm hoping to finish this weekend, if not by next weekend, and that will finish off most of, well, it will have to finish off the infrastructure projects. So that's just a quick update for you guys on where I'm at with these winter projects. As I've said before, gardening does not end in the winter. It is, you know, it's kind of a rush to get some of these projects done before spring, so that in the spring and through the growing season this year, I can focus on the fun part, growing and harvesting. All right, see you all. So Salpiglossis. I don't know how to say it exactly, but these flowers to me are amazing. You don't really hear about them much, but it is a type of flower that I have really enjoyed growing. For me, the habitat looks very much like a petunia, but it is the flower itself is not a petunia. It is definitely a different kind of flower, and it has a metallic sheen almost to the flowers. And I've seen the flowers in reds and purples and even yellowish whites, and then it'll just have this kind of shimmering kind of sheen or edge to it. It's really quite fascinating, and I like it. I think it's very cool, and so I'm planting several trays of that this year.